So, Mr. David, if I get you clearly, you're trying to get clarity on what I mean by ensuring that, okay, I said something. Fish farming is not just about putting fish in water, right? It's about managing an ecosystem, which involves the water itself, feeding, oxygen, and the fish health itself. So now your question is, you are particular about the oxygen level in the water. So firstly is that the oxygen present in water is known as dissolved oxygen. There is an optimum range suitable for catfish farming. There is an optimum range suitable for tilapia farming. So as a fish farmer that understand that there are standards, there are range. Below the range is putting your fish at risk. So it means that on a regular basis, you check. We have equipment used for checking these water parameters. Like the dissolved oxygen, we have a dissolved DO meter. We call it dissolved oxygen meter. Its primary purpose is to read the dissolved oxygen in your water. And if it is low, there is something that that farmer should do in order not to lose his investment. And there are signs that you can see as a fish farmer from the behaviors of the fish in the water that will tell you that the dissolved oxygen in the water is low. So you are expected to change the water regularly. So for your question, the other question, how often are you changing the water? How often should you change the water? Of course, this is why we said is a fish farming. And since you are putting them in an enclosed place, it means that the water is not flowing like the river, like that of the river. Because that of the river, you don't need to change it because it's not stagnant, it's flowing. Every fish farm, be it you are using pond tanks, you should know that the water is stagnant. So over time, due to their metabolic activities, due to the uneaten feed, due to the excretes, the water gets depleted. So you have to change water regularly. So what you need in fish farming, number one thing, aside the knowledge, the land, the next thing we talk about is good water. So when we come to the topic of water, we'll explain well so that you will understand how these things operate. I don't know if I have attempted or answer your question.
Yes, you have, sir. Thank you very much. Now, my last question for the night, before I go and study my notes and come up with more to understand better. You said for fishes like tilapia, they can survive a minute without water. So, is there a system or method in which you safely change the water that doesn't involve them being out of the water completely to put in new water? Or do we take them out of that one and put them into a new one rather than take that one out, then fill the tank again? I don't know if you understand.
Yeah, sorry, I had a brief meeting. Okay, for your last question for today's session, I will say briefly that there is a method that we change our water. Yes, we have two systems when it comes to water. We have a recirculatory system and we have the flow-through system. So it is advised that when using flow-through system is that as you are draining your pond, at some level, you on the inlet. So basically, your fish pond should have both an outlet where water can be drained out and inlet where fresh oxygenated water will come into your pond. So the system is this. When you begin to discharge your water or drain your water from the pond, you ensure that you don't completely drain the water. Drain 3/4 of that particular water level. Then at 1/4 level, then you have to on your inlet so that as the water flows out, another fresh oxygenated water is introduced into your pond. And that way it will not have the fish will not have or experience a shock because the water parameter that you're exchanging and the one coming in, definitely the water parameter is not the same. So they want to acclimatize to the new water that you are trying to pump in to the pond. So this is how we change water. So we don't remove the fish from the pond, change the water, no. For tilapia, it's very, very sensitive and technical. For catfish, you can, in fact, drain everything, remove them from the pond, wash the pond, rinse the pond, introduce new water. It won't have much effect on them. I hope I've answered your question. So there are technicalities. There is how you can go about it. And when we begin the practical sessions, you will see these things for yourself.